Guys and dolls, so glasses on. I've been editing. I have been editing. This video you're going to see comes from two families, same family connected, of two girls who have been abused, allegedly, ongoing case. And, they asked me to come down. I was going down to do the bonfire, and they approached me and asked me could I speak to them and bring awareness. And I told them that it's an ongoing case and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But I seen their faces and I seen the pain in their eyes, and this, I'm not exaggerating here, guys. This is heartbreaking stuff. Like, for any man to stand in front of and interview people, and please believe me, I have had to edit this thing 4 times. I think there's at least 30 or 40 edits, you know. Um, like, you won't notice it, you know what I mean, because they're taken away, and but I've edited, had it checked with other YouTubers, close YouTubers. I'm not going to mention any names. You know who's close to me and that. And then, from advice to him, took advice from a lawyer, and yeah. So basically, I'm able to bring to use the feelings of the family, as long as nothing's mentioned about the crime or who the perpetrators are, or any specifics of where it was or any dates, So I've had to cut quite a lot out, and I've kept it to. I'm trying to do it in a way where I do bring it out, and I don't shy away from this. And I also want to do it in a way where I do the parents proud. I also want to do it in a way where I do my country proud. And I will cover that at the end of this video, But like I said, it has been really hard. So it has. Hard interview, and then talking to other friends about it, showing the interview to other people, and then taking advice, because that's the world we live in, because they would love to blame Old Freedom Dad for collapsing a trial, you know what I mean? Yet they make mistake after mistake and get away with it, as we see in England with the grooming gangs and the way the council and the police operated, letting victims get taken away in cars with Muslim men in them, and this is what we're up against. I've got to tread very carefully while they do whatever they want, and yeah, hopefully that changes soon. Hopefully we do something about that. But the whole point of this, guys, is to bring awareness, and to let our politicians know that we know what's going on. We don't want what's happening in England here, and we need something done about it. There's incidents after incidents that I can't bring you right now, but I could, family members and people can talk about their feelings and how they're being treated and how this whole process affects them from start to finish. And yeah, I think it's my job to do these people a justice, to bring their voices to a platform, or to anybody that will listen, to understand what's going on in Northern Ireland still today. So, I'm going to let you see the video, and then I'll say a wee bit at the end. So, okay, so we're here. What part of Ballymena are we in? Ballykeel. So could you tell my my followers and my subscribers and anybody that's going to be watching this video, who are you?
I'm both of the girls' grandmother. They were took to the house down in my lady say the house. The Waynes didn't tell us the full story. One of them did on Monday. Mm-hmm. And the Wayne took the granda down and showed him the house, then was threatened that she would be arrested for doing so.
But was this before before everything happened in the last week or so? Was this going back a wee bit? Right, so this is before all the trouble and before everything we knew that was going on in Ballymena. Yes. It was before my video, basically. Yes. Yeah. Yes. So why is it? What's happened? Why is it only coming to fruition or light now? Tell me what's happening.
The Waynes were scared to tell the truth, right. But she's got learning difficulties. She's other problems. Bloods weren't right. She was worried, so anyway, she told us what it was. The Grunda went with her. Police came. As I say, they threatened that they were going to lift her for mainly showing him the house. Then they were...
The police arrested 2 men on Monday.
Right. So I know this is really difficult. You're the granny. Yeah, and you're related as well. You don't, because I know.
I'm the granny as well.
Right.
The
So
13-year-old.
I know this is really difficult, and you've invited me down, and it's to bring awareness to other people in Northern Ireland what's going on, because it is the most vulnerable areas, I believe, in our countries are being pushed in with illegal or regular, whatever you want to call it, even legal immigration. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's a reason why we're doing this. We're not being hateful. We're not far right. We're not racist. We are wanting to look after our country, our children, and our women, and we do not want it to end up like England and Ireland. So
my granddaughter was took up to Antrim yesterday to speak to the detective to do an interview. They wanted to get as much evidence as possible, because they only had to today to either charge them, let them go on bail, whatever. And the detective phoned her to say that he was charged, and the other one was out on bail, and there was another man left at early hours this morning.
Because it is an alleged crime, and I'm sorry to have to say it in front of you, okay? But legally, I'm obliged to have to say it is alleged, and it's a crazy question. How are the girls, and how long do you think it's going to take these girls to get over this?
They'll never get over it. They'll never get over it. That there will stay in them child's heads forever. I mean, when it comes to the stage to where they're at the stage of meeting boys and stuff, that's all going to come back into their wee heads. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, as the other grandmother said there, one of them, the 15-year-old, she has learning difficulties and autism. My granddaughter, the 13-year-old, has learning disabilities.
What's Ballymena like for this type of crime? And I'm talking about the type of crime that we're experiencing right now in Ballymena. Is this new, or has this been happening in Ballymena for a long time?
No, we haven't heard of it.
I've never heard of it up until it happened my granddaughter, but then I heard that apparently about 4 months ago it happened to a young girl as well, but it was brushed under the carpet.
Yes, I've heard about that.
And then it happened to that wee 14-year-old a couple of weeks ago. You know, and
It's not
people
only that.
just not going to let that be.
So when people...
landlords are just putting in whoever they like for the money.
Yeah. What I'm trying to get across is, for anybody out there that's going on about us journalists going and highlighting these type of crimes, the thing is this is the first time we've had these type of crimes in our country. Never mind if it's foreigners or who. You know, it's not my fault we're reporting for the first time in Northern Ireland. I'm really sorry for what's happened, and how you coping as a family?
We're trying.
Yeah, we've had
Just sticking together as a family.
We've
Both
had
families.
a real hard time lately with deaths and one thing and another, and this, I mean, we're just trying to be as strong as we can and, get on with it.
And what about the PNSA? Have they been supportive?
No.
Not when they're
They
threatening to arrest the Wayne that takes the Grunda to show where it happened. Do you know what I mean? She has disability. She couldn't tell you where it happened.
Right.
She had to take you to show you where it was. And whenever she went down, they went and insisted her that she could be arrested for being down on that street. How other were going to find it?
So why did the police threaten the child?
Because she took her Granda to the house.
She took her Granda to the house.
on Monday.
Right, to show them where it was. And the police weren't happy because she should have went to the police first. But, at the end of the day, that's what you expect your children to do, you know what I mean?
Granda, when she told the Granda, his levels were way up.
Of course, emotions were running high, of course.
And they were. They still are.
So, in a way, I can understand. I can't understand them threatening any children at all. I understand the worry that they would feel of family members, because I know what it would be. I would do if it was any of my family members. At the end of the day, we're only human, guys. But the thing is there any liaison officers or anything working with the family?
There's been nothing. I mean, you think that they would have got family support or victim support or something to contact to see about these children, how they're doing. Nothing.
Even when it was reported the first time, before the Waynes came forward and said they knew who it was that done it to them, we had nothing from anybody. Nothing.
both families.
And these men were in these houses the whole time.
Yes.
But we didn't know that, obviously.
We didn't know until Monday.
We thought they were still
Didn't know till
running
Monday.
around.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. Wow, I don't know what to say.
Thursday.
It is difficult. This is a problem we've got.
Up until yesterday, we thought we were only working with one of our grandweans that had been touched.
Yeah.
It's two. Both of them, the two of them, suffered.
So I take it this would have been work with psychologists or doctors or
No,
nurses?
we've nothing.
Nothing.
We have no.
So how did you?
Them.
So I can't get
Oh,
my.
sorry, they went to the Ron.
Ronan
The
Centre,
first
my
one was at
daughter
the
went to the
Ronan
Ronan Centre and
Right.
got swabs and all done and
yeah.
all that.
And that's when they discovered the second child had been
No,
harmed.
we only discovered her yesterday.
You only found that out yourselves, and if you've now reported that back to the police.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
they
what
know.
they're working on.
Yeah. Okay.
And that was the one
Yeah.
that they said could be arrested for being
Yeah.
on the street.
Yeah.
So
Writing him down.
in general, how's the general feeling of the reaction of the police and the support that you're getting?
We're not getting any.
No, well,
We
yourself.
have no support whatsoever.
No support. No. I don't know what to say about that. This is a
That's what I'm saying. It's just the two families come together to support the Wayans.
Yeah.
That's what we can do for them.
yeah. No, this is horrific, and I'm going to be putting this out. I'm going to have to think about it and edit and stuff and all that. But you've got a message that you want to give to the community. In case you don't want nothing blown up or nothing.
No, I don't want no violence over it. I want them to be for the cause of what happened to the Wayans. Quiet protest, yes. No rioting. I'm not in for rioting.
Yeah, and I'm just going to add to that, as a citizen journalist, as a patriot, what the guys are doing on the ground right now with the demonstrations and the protests in Belfast and all over Northern Ireland can only work if there isn't any violence. As soon as we go on the streets and start throwing petrol bombs, we get labelled far-right racist scum, and the victims have forgot. And we've got to remember that. But this is how we go forward. We remember the victims of all our crimes by coming out on the street daily and letting them know, and slowly and gradually that will grow. And what each individual area does and how they react is up to them, but there has to be no violence, and it's only going to harm us going forward to try and fix this country to make sure no more children get harmed. I just want to say thank you. This is both the families together here. Yep. I just want to say thank you so much, and for inviting me down and being brave enough to speak. And to be honest with you guys, they did, I reckon they would have went on camera, but I've decided not to put them on camera just to keep everything right. It is an ongoing case, and I'm going to speak to my lawyers before I put this out. But thank you so much. I'm not going to take any more of your time. I think enough's been said, without going into we don't want to jeopardise anything, which is, any justice and all that, because that's the kind of thing they'll throw at us,
No.
So, but I will be...
We've been told the same, haven't we? That we're not allowed to comment on anything, and I have shared stuff. I mean, last night I didn't, when it went on social media, I didn't share anything. But today I have, and I've said what I wanted. I've called them scumbags and tramps, and I'm not ashamed to call them that. At the end of the day, it's my granddaughter and this lady's granddaughter as well that's suffering and has to live with this the rest of their life.
Yeah.
I mean, I would give anything to meet them.
Yeah. Well,
I really would.
I know.
I would give 5 minutes with them, and I'm telling you,
Well,
without saying too much.
I'm going to wrap that up.
So, like I say, it's an ongoing case. It's all alleged. You know what I mean? And I think I've kept myself right. So basically, the point I want to make here, guys, which is really important to me, to all the families in Northern Ireland, anybody who've got children or grandchildren, you got to keep a weary eye. You've got to, really keep depending on what the area, and how much safety you need to have around your children. Okay, you understand that. You understand what's been going on in England and Ireland, so you know what to look out for and all the rest of it. But the thing is as we see, and as the government know, these children don't come forward. They don't come forward, as you've seen in this video, and for all different reasons, and I can't go into it. There's specific reasons in this case why they didn't go forward that I cannot bring, okay? And I really wish I could, okay? I really wish I could, but like I say, it'll all come out in the court case, no doubt, So sometimes when you look at your children and you think, your children will be okay, and you think, you've brought your children up the right way and all, but sometimes in life there's things that we don't look out for, that we don't ever think about, because why would we? We've never lived in a country where we worried about our children's going out to play and letting them know they come in before the street lights come out, and that's just been the way it's been in Northern Ireland since I was a wee boy, and it's never ever changed until now. And when I say it's never changed till now, I am speaking to women and parents who are scared. This isn't misinformation. I'm exaggerating on my mother's grave. I am speaking to people who are genuinely scared about their children now, and that's not good. That's not good for any community. We're trying to get our kids out in the sun, playing, socializing, off internet, off the PlayStations, off TikTok, and now we've got a situation where some of our parents are glad their children are in, you know. What I also want to add, guys, is, I think these children need a holiday. That's what I think. I think they need a holiday, and they're not getting any help from anybody else. So it's down to the community to help them. So anybody in Ballykeel, Ballymena, if you're doing any peaceful protests, and please keep it peaceful for the family. They've asked, so you've got to respect the family's wishes. But if you could get a wee bucket going around and get a collection or some sort of something, and get them girls on holiday, help the family out, and it's just something small that we can do. It's not going to fix anything. It's not going to change anything, but it might make things a little bit more manageable for the family and the children, Like I say, you've got to try and imagine this happening twice in the same family, connected through cousins. It's like this is one family who have had to deal with this twice now, and I know how hard it is for the women. I can't imagine what's going through the men's minds right now. I can't imagine. So Freedom Dad and Freedom Dad's community understand exactly what you are going through. We understand what the men are going through right now, and all I can do is ask you to remain calm, guys. It is difficult, but it is what it is. This is where we're at, and we need to help. We need to help families because nobody else is helping them. And Freedom Dad, God bless.